What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the House of Bowling. Today, I'm reacting to the unluckiest match I've ever been a part of. It's best 2 out of 3, which means we got to win 2 games to advance. Let's get another reaction and me explaining why this is probably the unluckiest match that I've ever been a part of in my life. This is going to be Eddie Bird, the guy we're bowling against. His partner, I'm not 100% sure what his name is, so I'm not even going to guess. We will just call him backwards that boy. His partner throws it good. They're both from the St. Louis area. Throwing my hammer, Arctic Vibe, which has been probably the ball of the last 2 or 3 months for me. Just gotten a lot of strikes. My partner for this tournament is Austin Boulds. To preface this, the scoring pace was pretty high, but urethane looked good the first couple of games because you either had to play pretty straight or you had to really hook it. This is fresh, and Eddie Bird and his partner are both playing probably 20 at the arrows. For these two guys to be playing that deep, and they don't have huge rev rates, just kind of shows you. Eddie Bird's partner is playing 22 at the arrows, really throwing into like probably 9, 10, 11 down lane. Even me throwing the weakest ball in my bag, I'm still playing 15 out to like 7. It is a Baker game, which means you bowl alternate frames. I'll bowl the second frame. Austin will bowl the first frame. Could have really used a double there, but we're in the lead by a little bit halfway through this first game, even with the missed spare, which just made it a little closer. It didn't really make a huge difference in terms of score, but as they start striking a little more, the game does get a little bit closer. The biggest thing when it comes to match play, a lot of it can be based on luck a lot of times, whether you match up against the right team. If you get on a good pair that's not as good for the other team, that can matter a lot. If everyone starts missing spares in the match, that also helps. The Arctic Vibe, for me, really good ball. You see me kind of just getting a little frustrated with the fact that it hasn't struck as much during the match. Few times that it did strike this game, Austin didn't exactly double it up. So really low scoring first game. The first score of this first game is going to be about 212 to maybe 190 or 2-0 to 190, but it wasn't really much of a battle. You see Eddie Bird's partner and you see both of them. It's just the fact that he got that 7 out means I now need to stay clean. So whatever he did, I need to do. So as we come up into the 10th frame, all I need is a mark. First shot, little in off my hand, but it holds. The pattern is fairly easy. We bowled 7 games of qualifying, and then we bowled another 5 games of like cashers round after that. So the scoring pace in game 1 was pretty low. It always kind of happens when you bowl Bakers because if one of you has a good look and the other doesn't, you're going strike, spare, strike, split, strike, spare. It equals, 190 or 2-0 instead of me being able to shoot 230 and Austin being able to shoot 2-0 on his own. Over the course of qualifying, I think I went 530 over or for the 7 games of qualifying, then the 5 games of cashers round. Austin struggled all tournament, but as you can see here, he's kind of figuring it out. We'll start game 2, but he's got a much better look with that urethane ball. He's hitting the pocket pretty much every shot. I am hitting the pocket pretty much every shot, even though I'm not necessarily striking nearly as much as I did during qualifying. During qualifying, I averaged just shy of 250. Big messenger. Let's just take a look at that one more time. Slow-mo on this. Didn't even look. Oh, just the head of the pen got it. That's crazy. But yeah, I averaged just under 250 in qualifying. Austin had big games, had low games, so he kind of bounced around, averaging right around the 200 mark. But a lot of teams went, an average 220 a guy, which is where, right where we were. It's not, especially during doubles tournaments, it's not me, it's not him, it's both of us. How did we score together? Because individually, it doesn't matter when it's a doubles tournament. I had a bad feeling that Eddie and his partner were going to start figuring this out. You see, he switched balls to the smoother ball, and it looked way better. First one got a little too far down lane for him. Once he switched to the smoother ball, he started hitting the pocket pretty much every shot. Unfortunately for me, I missed a move there, didn't throw my best shot. So it's 6-7 instead of maybe just 6 spinning on its own. Missed the spare, a little bit upset with myself. Austin's finally finding a look that's hitting the pocket. I wish I could have helped him strike a little more here because I think that would have taken the pressure off later in the game that comes. But Eddie and his partner, I think, are going to start striking a lot, but then stuff like that happens where Eddie just throws it way right, makes a spare with ease. Good spare shooter. He's a good bowler. He bowls a lot of tournaments in the St. Louis area, so I don't want to make this sound like I'm bashing him at all. especially his partner too. I've seen plenty of times bowling in the St. Louis area, whether it's a 6-game sweeper or a bigger tournament. It's on a pretty hard pattern. As for me, I make the move. I'm praying that it doesn't wrap 7, barely gets the 7 out. So I'm thinking maybe I throw it a little slower. I'm hoping Austin kind of does the same because he mixer 7 that last shot. He does throw it a little slower. He throws it really good though, and at 4 pins. It's like Austin and I, basically this whole match, we just can't get on the same page. It's like I strike and then he misses, or he strikes and then I miss. So it was really hard for us to like double or triple up. The good news is they seem to be having the same problem. Eddie strikes a little bit and his partner misses, or his partner strikes a little bit and then Eddie misses. So neither of us we're kind of both just neck and neck throughout the whole thing. That shot right there for him made me nervous. We'll go back. The previous one was a little bit in. The previous one was around 8-9 down lane. That one was into like 11-12 at the break point for him, and he struck, and they looked the same on both of them. And then mine, I get a little in, kind of like his, and it goes straight through the face. So what I'm thinking is I just have to throw better shots. Period. And I need Austin to help me out because I'm realizing that my look is probably getting a little bit worse, and I'm just hoping that his look's getting a little better. They double up here. So now I think this is frame 9 that they're in. They got another strike, which means right now the situation is I miss and Austin gets a triple, then it forces them to double. Austin needs all of them here. And if Austin gets the next one, they need to double. So whatever Austin does, they also need to do. So now I believe the situation is they need the first one in the 10th and then 9 to win. They don't need to double. They need 9. So they need strike 9 to win. And this right here is where it gets to be probably one of the unluckier things that has happened to us. This was a lucky break for us. So he goes 9, and if he spares it, then he needs 9 again. So he either needed strike 8 or 9 spare. He just needed to fill 19, whether it was spared 9 or strike 9. Either way, he goes spare here. And this is where it gets to be one of the most unlucky things that I've ever been a part of, and a little bit frustrating for me. Because Eddie's a good bowler. I think he makes a lot of really good shots. I see the shot go down the lane. He's probably aiming at about 8, and the break point right there looks like it's around 14. So he's missed about 6 or 7, probably 5, 6, maybe 7 left at, maybe even 8 left at the break point. It should go through the face, especially with how good his look is. It should go through the face. Unlucky for us, he crosses over, ends up getting 9, and they end up winning the match by 1. Or the game by 1. Not our most ideal break, but the good news for us is that we still have game 3. I think I've made the move. Austin's look is only getting better. So with those two things combining, I think we're set. Moving on to game 3. A more of a fresh mindset for us, hoping to, clear that one out the way. I'm not really thinking anything of the Brooklyn. It is what it is. Those things happen all the time. It's not a big deal, but it was a little lucky. We can both admit that was a little lucky. Eddie gets back throwing a great shot, like you see if we're lining up and saying, where's his break point down lane? That's right about 8. Maybe his ball gets to 7 down lane right there, a little past that break point, but it's probably 7, 8. And that second shot in the 10th where he needed 9, he left it into about probably 14. Both of them start off with a strike. Austin starts off with a strike. I start off with a 6 pin. So we got 280 max right now. I have a feeling that they're going to bowl a better game. They got the lucky break. They're probably going to capitalize on it. So I have strike spare. Austin strikes again. Strike spare strike for us and a double for them. And then once again, just a little lucky. Now it's becoming... The first one wasn't that bad. It just, he got 9. He could have gone straight through the nose and got 9. But striking right there to make it a triple hurts. Because we have 280 pace. They would have had 270 something, even if he just left a spare like he did that last one. So still, once again, mentally trying not to think anything of this at all. But it is taking a toll. And then they capitalize on it. You always think, At least I always think, the bowling gods, they'll get us back. Eddie strikes there on the Brooklyn. This guy will probably wrap a 10. No. He gets the 10, but he made a lot of good shots down the stretch. And then we need to keep up. We need to keep striking. So we still have 280 pace here. I made the adjustment, probably 2-1 right, and then I got that 6-pin out. Austin, I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Brooklyn hit for them, followed by the 7-10 for us. I don't think it makes me feel any better about how the luck is going. But once again, this was frame 5 for us. So now all we have left is 240 because I spared in the second. Austin got a ridiculously unlucky break in 7-10 in the fifth. So we only have 240 left. They have 300 left. So it's not going well for us. They have the front 5. Not excited about it. This was the one I actually thought that it was a pretty good shot. He 10 pins. I'm like, okay, they have 270 through 6 frames. We have 240 through 5. We're probably going to need to strike out. Just knowing their looks are both pretty good. They're kind of hitting the pocket, with the exception of the Brooklyn. They're hitting the pocket every time, and it's striking. So I know they're going to be bowling good. We probably need the rest of them. And I think Austin and I both knew that. So we go strike in the 6th and 7th. They got 279 left still. And then Eddie throws another strike here. So they still have 279 through 7. Here's the 8th frame. 2-8-10 was huge because now we are both on 240 pace unless he makes it. 2-8-10, one of the hardest splits in bowling. Obviously, he doesn't make it. So right now the situation is we have 240 left. They have 240 left. I think if we both strike out from here, they beat us by 1. So I know that I'm stepping up here in the 8th frame, giving us our best effort. Flush strike. Austin probably knows that he also needs to strike here. You see him get a little excited, walks it out a little bit to the left, gets the light mix. We have hit the pocket every shot. We haven't struck every shot, but we hit the pocket every shot. And then here we go. Once again, where do we think this one's going, guys? Where do we think this one's going? That one's not as far left as the previous one, the one in Brooklyn. But this one is making its way over there. So I think Eddie's a good bowler. It's just one of those things that happened. And if they didn't strike, if they all 9-pinned or 5-pinned or, he left a high flush 6-pin instead of stringing the strikes together that they had, it would have been easier for us. So right now, they still have us beat by 1 if they strike out. And I'm thinking, you know what? Like, there's no way they strike out. We're not getting beat like this. They get the light mix. We're not getting beat like this. There's no way the bowling pins and the bowling gods are going to let us get beat when they throw 3 Brooklyns in the last game and 1 shot. All timely, too. The Brooklyn with the 9 count to win. 3 Brooklyns the next game, all with strikes either in front of or behind it. It just hurts. It hurts the soul. Then this one, he throws a much better shot and he 10 pins. Did I think the messenger was coming across? Absolutely. Absolutely thought the messenger was coming across. And now here's the situation. Since they have us beat by 1 pin and count, I need a double. I can't go strike 9 spare like they did and match them. Because if I do, then we'll lose by 1. Really good shot. I need to throw 2 really good shots here in the 10th frame to get the dub. Look me in the eyes. Does it look like we're going to get the dub? After watching that, we didn't win this tournament. It wasn't for that much money. It was a $10,000 doubles tournament. So if we could have at least advanced through the round, we would have been in the round of 12. Then we could have got to the round of 8, 4, 2, and 1. And with Austin's look the way it was, I had no doubt in my mind that we were going to be able to keep up with pretty much any team if we were on the right pair. Could catch a couple breaks here and there. But sometimes it's just how bowling goes. And I want this to be a lesson to many of you out there. As much as it was frustrating for me, as much as I got a little bit upset, there's nothing you can do about it. Eddie tried to throw the best shots he could. We tried to throw the best shots we could. Sometimes you go Brooklyn. Sometimes you bone a 5-pin or you bone an 8-pin or 9-pin to lose. It is what it is. Over the course of time, the breaks will all even out. Maybe next tournament, I'll get a break that I really needed to win. You never know. If you dwell on the bad breaks all the time, you can't do anything about it. So shout out to Eddie and his partner. I think they also won the next round before losing in the round of 8. Shout out to them. Congrats to them. As for me and Austin, I'm sure you guys will see us again some point on the channel. We bowled this $10,000 doubles tournament run by yours truly, Kevin Williams. And now I will catch you guys on the next video. Don't be afraid. Click that subscribe button down below. If you like seeing videos like this, maybe I'll react to some of my older PBA TV shows that I've been on. Drop a comment down below. Let us know what you want to see. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.